we can see the strides, and you've mentioned the strides you've made in particular in South Sudan. But is it limited just to South Sudan? Is this something that the church emphasizes on across various countries that might be facing various challenges, including political instability?
The role of the church goes across the continent, not only on South Sudan. Wherever there is a burning situation, wherever there is unrest in a country, so the church is there. Let's take the case of the Democratic Republic of Congo. We're supposed to have election in 2016. It failed. I remember in December 19, 2016, people were predicting like apocalypse. The end of DRC, because election didn't take place. But the church, we went as a delegation of Kappa here, World Council of Churches, AACC, FECLAHA, all those regional bodies for the church. We went to do a kind of lobbying to cool the tension down. We had to see opposition, we have to see a ruling party and allies and the opposition to cool down. That the election, missing election, the end of the world. So we made it. Like now, election for DRC has been set on December 23rd. So people are getting ready. But there is a tension because there are some issues we need to be sorted out, like the voting machine and the electoral file with 10 million of voters which are not identified. Okay. So there's a kind of conflict. So the church is still working, like from this month, from 7th to 10th, in National Forum for Peace and Peace. The church is organizing a big forum to diffuse tension so that people go to election peacefully and freedom.
From religious beliefs may offer crucial intangible components of peace building. Back to South Sudan, it's majorly a Christian state. Perhaps bring out the importance of religious belief even among the nationals in South Sudan in terms of changing their mentality and thinking of someone of a different community as yet an equal to them despite whatever community they come from.
I mean, South Sudan is predominantly a Christian country, you would say. But, you know, the Christian faith must be lived. People must internalize what Christ is about, that he came to build bridges, you know, across difference. He redefines our relationships in terms of ethnic differences, that we are brothers and sisters because of his sacrifice. So, but all these things must be internalized, you know. So it's not like because you have majority of Christians, then it will naturally come. So part of the ongoing challenge of the church leadership is really to work with the Christians and engage them, challenge them with the gospel values so that they become agents of transformation in their conflict, in their context. So that is what the role is, that part of the role that the church does in terms of engaging with the believers to say, you should be the light in this situation, you should be the salt in this context. And I think gradually people are beginning to appreciate that because they realize that more is at stake if they continue to work along, just to divide themselves along ethnic persuasions or religious persuasions or political persuasions, that they must somehow overcome that, you know, become a new people, give birth to a new nation. And this is possible. This is really possible when people begin to appreciate that, you know, the nation is in their hands. Nobody can be denied. Everybody is a citizen. And that nation building is a collective responsibility. You need each other to build a stable and thriving nation.
Okay. Speaking about collective responsibility, we have seen the prayers that were held in Uganda. Was it over the weekend? any other function that the church is preparing, even as we continue anticipating the good turn of events in South Sudan?
Yeah, as you know, South Sudan is celebrating the signing of the agreement. It was meant to be today. They postponed it to tomorrow. But those of us in the region, in Kenya, in Uganda, in Ethiopia, feel a sense of responsibility to accompany our brothers in this journey of peace building. And we do that in many ways. We have already shared some of the things that we do in terms of accompanying them in their reflective processes, in their building trust between the different groups. But the region has a responsibility also of solidarity. So what we've tried to do is to mobilize the leadership, religious leaders within the region, to be able to redefine what kind of role and contribution they can make in contributing to enabling the peace process to hold.
Okay.
So we are having prayers to coincide with the celebrations. Today at 5 o'clock at All Saints Cathedral, we have invited all the Sudanese in this city and all people of goodwill to be part of a Thanksgiving service at All Saints Cathedral from 5 to 6:30. That's part of us, showing our solidarity with our brothers and sisters. Similar prayers we have also been organized with our fellow religious leaders in Uganda. But this only is part of the commitment we feel to accompany.
Exactly. It's a collective responsibility, as you well put it. Thank you so much for making time. That was Canon Grace Kaiser, the General Secretary, Council of Anglican Provinces of Africa, also joined by Reverend Professor Bosela Eale, the Director in charge of Peace and Development Department at the All Africa Council of Churches. The bottom line being it is a collective responsibility, and all individuals of goodwill are invited to All Saints Cathedral from 5 p.m. as we join South Sudan in celebrating the peace agreement. Thank you so much for making time. All right, we cross over to Rwanda now, where electric motorbikes have hit the capital